next one here, when you take a look, the top piece of this, I'm just going to create this rectangular shape, kind of using it in the idea of the 30-degree line, so I could still line that up there and give myself that measurement. And within that rectangle, find the center and find the approximate ending, which is a little bit off the screen here, right there. So again, just kind of looking at this as a basic shape of a rectangular line here, and just giving it a thickness, even though it's not going to match all the way around there. It's going to be arbitrarily changed. But there's that thickness. So if this is the center of the handle of this drill bit, there's the opposite sides for the symmetrical part. One thing we can draw is the overall shape of this, kind of a tulip shape going on either side, and then locating the center. And the center has this, again, a piece that the drill sets into the piece that it's drilling, wood for example, and starts it in there. And once that starts to spin, it keeps going down concentrically until it gets to the thicker part of this drill bit. And that has a little bit of a curve. And now instead of going straight here, it angles off, tapers, and goes up and underneath this part. So it's a little tricky, so it becomes a very organic form and builds this out. And that gives you this selection. And then again, trying to locate some form of the handle coming out, not to make it too long, and can still round it off. I'm just going to try using the template to show it again. So here's the vertical, and then it goes to an angle. So it's going to be tapered off on this side, tapered off this way, and tapered off that way. So you can see the three different variations that you would have for this particular angle. So I'm going to taper it there, but just going to lower it down a little bit to this section, line it up with the line that's there, and just make it a semicircle, enough to see the tangent line on either side. And here I can bring this down here. And you can make it smaller too, so I might make it just a little bit smaller. And let this be the tangent for here. So that gives you that line pretty quickly. And then it's just a matter of going back in and finding those edges. And see how they taper. This one goes up and around. This one tapers out. Make that a little more shallow there. And again, then it's just a matter of taking with this kind of a rounded edge, which you can kind of see. It's, even though the overall shape is relatively dark, it's going to give you the darker sides, the darker values to build up into here. Just kind of lightly shading just to block it in. Go back in with the hatch line. And again, following this tapered piece. And the thing that helps this is, since it's a cylindrical shape, using that idea of the highlight, quarter tone, and everything is going to make this stand out. And again, seeing this taper. And you can start off straight and then just go back freehand, and it'll get some of the looseness of how the metal interacts with the shadow along that texture. So you start off with a line, building up the shape, putting the value, and then the texture comes right following that. And this way I mean like around the cylinder, where you can get the baseline reflected light. And as you look at the detail, this might have some pieces going around it, nicked and chipped in there. Get some of that texture in there. So it gives a nice contrast to the metal, a little bit back and forth.